All right, I'm in Fairport. I am on the Erie Canal Trail and I am headed east. There he is. Oh, look at that. That's a heron. I don't know if you can see there. You try and zoom in. Yeah, that's a heron. I believe that's a little green heron. I'm not sure. The long neck. Nice. Not a bird watching trip, but I guess that's how we start. So, as I leave the Fairport area, we have back over here is Fairport Electric. They're working. I'll try to hold this a little steadier. I didn't bring my gimbal. Um, and I don't know if I mentioned, I am headed east on the Erie Canal Trail out of Fairport. So I don't know yet. I originally thought I'm going to walk, get some walking exercise, and do 10 miles. Right? So I figured I'd walk 5 miles, if that's better. I want to make it too shaky. I was going to walk 5 miles and then you turn around on the trail and head home, and that equals 10 miles. Then I thought, well, I like to do things big. I have a goal of 10,000 steps a day. Just a random number from what I hear. Uh, Anywhere around 10,000 steps a day is pretty much where good health starts. So, especially if you're trying to lose weight. So, I figure 10,000 steps it is. And I can walk on my phone 10,000 steps. When I hit 10,000 steps, I will turn around and come back. I took a screenshot of the steps I already had for the day, and I have 3,012 steps. Take a screenshot there. You can see the time. It's 10:10 in the morning. Uh, it's Friday. Uh, I requested the day off at work uh, last week so that I could take my car in for New York State inspection. If you live up here or in many states, you have to inspect your car every year. That's New York State law, so it was due this month, August. So it's all done, all taken care of. Uh, got it taken care of, brought the car back home, and then did a couple other things and said, let me walk. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Most mornings, I take my dogs for a walk and I walk the other way on the canal. I used to ride bike and go this way and the other way. Starting here in Fairport, going west, I went all the way to Spencerport one time. It was about 29 miles from here, just following the canal. So it was a nice long bike ride. And then I planned on, riding back. So actually, I was gonna go a little further and then head back, but because I felt great, doing it. But I ended up getting a flat, and I wasn't equipped to change a flat. So, so I had to call my son-in-law to pick me up, and he went over there and got me. So I have another bike, and I got it 2 months ago off a coworker. Pretty decent bike. So I can ride here on the canal, and I still haven't even ridden the bike once. So I figured, you know what? Let me continue this. My walking. Let me walk today. A lot of benefits to walking. Benefits, of course, to riding bike. Benefits to jogging. Benefits to running. benefits to a lot of exercises. Uh, but walking is simple. Walking is something almost anybody can do. See, so there's people way up there, and again, there's a parking lot right here. So, you know, people come over here, go for walk their dogs. They themselves go for a walk. It's a peaceful canal trail. So, and this stretches all the way from Albany, New York. I don't know if it goes further east past Albany, but I know it goes from Albany all the way to Buffalo. So, nice long stretch. Got someone here rowing along the canal. I know this phone has good stabilization, so hopefully it does a good work there, stabilizing. So, another part of the canal trail, just still going up, not even a mile yet. Uh, when I used to run right from where I started recording, somewhere around here, around these buildings, maybe a little towards the end of these buildings here on the left. I believe that's where the 1 mile mark is. So I should be getting that any minute. I have at the same time the Adidas running app. It used to be Runtastic. Uh, so I don't know if they sold or Adidas purchased, whatever the case may be. I guess for Adidas to purchase it, Runtastic had to sell it, right? Uh, so, but whatever, I changed its name to Adidas. Uh, so I have that going. So at some point it'll tell me when it's 1 mile. All right, so my phone just said it's been 1 mile walking, and as you notice, this is town of Perrington building here, and it must be lunchtime that everybody ran out, but it's got to be like 10:30, so maybe they were in a meeting or maybe there's an emergency and everybody's running out. I don't know. Uh, but a lot of activity. We have some geese here along the trail on the right. We see a lot of geese here. Uh, it is the first pair I see today, so give them a little space. Don't want to bother them too much, although they're used to people walking, biking, running along the path. So that is Department of Public Works for Perrington, New York. And again, it's been, oh, I'd say 2 years, maybe a year and a half since I've gone down this trail this far. Somewhere about a quarter mile or something up ahead, I believe it is, maybe half a mile. The road is not paved anymore, more like sandy gravel. But makes for a nice walk, and it gets quieter and quieter the further we go out. Oh, I see a deer. Oh, he heard me stop. Can't see it on the camera yet. There it is, right in the middle. Dead center of the camera, there's a deer. I can see his head, his two ears looking this way. And I wasn't sure if it was a deer, but then I saw him turn his head. So I could make a noise. There you go. He's turning his body a little. Oh, yeah, it's kind of hard to see. There he is. He's turning. Or she. There's the tail. Nice. So I like to see wildlife. Okay, so, and there are the train tracks. Like I said, they just got a little closer here. They kind of run parallel. I don't, not all the way through the canal trail. At some point, it kind of gets a little further away, but for a while, we run pretty close together. Still working at nights. Like I said, evenings. Uh, Schedule was 5 to 2 in the morning. It was 5:30 to 2 as a bus washer. As a technician, it was 5 to 2. I was doing what was called lanes work. When the buses would come off the street, if the driver had a complaint, hey, this and this is going on with the bus. I hear a noise, steering wheel's loose, bus is wobbly, uh, headlight is out, turn signal's not working, brakes are squeaking, whatever the complaints are. I saw this fluid leaking, the bus is smoking, all that, any complaint. Wipers are not working, whatever. So whatever the complaint, driver would bring the bus in, turn it in, service building would fuel it, like I said, wash it, and then drop it off to the garage. So now I started working at the garage, so I would be there and receive the buses. So the garage foreman would say, hey, go ahead and take that bus, right? He'd look at the work order. Uh, Based on the driver's complaint, he would put the assignments or what to look at. So I take the work order and start chipping away at the tasks until I fix the bus and get it back in service. So that's what I was doing as a technician two, a tech two. A lot of lanes work. Now as a tech two, you don't do a lot of diagnostics. So what I ended up doing was there was some tech ones on my shift in the evening also. And so, like I said, I go ask them, hey, how do you do that? How do you diagnose this? How do you know that's the problem? How do you read the codes? So, and all that is with a computer. You got to plug it in to the bus and it tells you the codes, and some of the software tells you what each code is. And so that's what I was doing. Uh, and I was pretty good at computers, so that was easy for me to do that. Oh, yeah. So I learned a lot, get a lot of trial and error. Uh, but I learned, how to do diagnostics. And again, I was good with computers, so that kind of translated well to me looking up codes. And then there's a diagnostic tree. So you have a code, fault code is what we call it. On cars have the same thing. There's a fault code. Computer tells, and by computer I mean the onboard computer. That's that expensive thing. If they tell you on your car, hey, we have to replace the computer chip on your car, right? There's a bunch of computer chips, which are actually modules. Anyway, so those modules, we call them computers, but I have to plug in a laptop to the vehicle, to the bus, and then the software for the vehicle, mainly for the engine, and there's different softwares for different parts of the bus, but the software would kind of find a fault code, and when you have your check engine light, that's a fault code, but then when you read it, it gives you an actual number, and then that number tells you this is most likely what's wrong with the vehicle. This is what we recommend checking. These are first of all, it gives you a list what the code is, what the code means, right? What's the name of the code? All right. I mean, if there's a code, there could be a code for, let's say, worn brakes, right? Uh, there's a code for uh, low fuel pressure. There's a code for low oil pressure. So based on whatever the code is saying, then there's possible solutions. Obviously, for oil, there's a bunch of codes, and they all say something different. And based on what it says, you can kind of figure out what are the possible issues, what caused that issue. And so there's a diagnostic tree. It tells you check this first, check that, right? Do this, do that. If that's good, go over here. If that's good, go over here. If that's bad, replace that, clean this, do this, and then test it. And if it's good, it goes back in service. Oh, it's like two. I don't know if they're ospreys. Yeah, they look like ospreys. Yeah, two of them right there. Nice. And another biker here. So, so I figured out. I learned. I didn't figure out again. I got a lot of help by asking a lot of the other mechanics, especially the older guys. Uh, and I learned, and so I became a good mechanic there. So uh, from there, I was able to get a shift that nobody wanted. It was 5 a.m. to 1:30. So from 5 a.m. to 1:30 in the afternoon. Now I live, like I said, in the Rochester area. In the winter, it gets dark early. So leaving at 1:30, it's amazing because if you leave your job at 3:30, by the time you get home by 4:30, it's dark already. So you get to work when it's dark, and by the time you leave, it's dark. You feel like you don't want to do anything else. But I was leaving at 1:30, so it was nice. I felt like I had daylight. I can come out and walk. I can do other things. Get to an appointment. A little waterfall there. Another bridge past there, so still going here. Uh, Duck right over there in the water. So, so I took the shift. Now, also just to be clear, I always had since I started there Thursdays and Fridays off. Right when I started as a bus washer, I had Thursday and Fridays off. Again, 5 p.m., 5:30 to 2 a.m. in the morning. Then eventually, as a bus washer, there's a lot of turnover in that job. I was able to get the weekends off. But then when I became a mechanic, I was working 5:30 to 2. I also had Thursday, Friday off. Again, I was going to make a lot more money. There was a lot more opportunity to move up, so I took it. I wanted that position, even though I had those days. Loud and fast train. So I took the schedule. Like I said, I was going to make more money, more opportunity to move up eventually. And so at night when I started working, when I went from bus washer to technician, I was technician 2. That morning shift was for a technician 1. So now again, as a tech 1, you can do diagnoses on the computer. So because I was asking everybody at night while I was a tech 2, I was asking them, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I figured out and learned, because I was taught, how to use the computer. Then when the tech 1 position opened up, I also did a job trial. Right now that I'm a tech 1, if there's another tech 1 position open, I can go move over there because I'm a tech 1. It covers all the positions. There might be certain things on a certain tech 1 job that, like welding, obviously if you're afraid of welding, they give you a welding job and you can't weld, then, well, you can't take that job, right? They'll send you back. And they have 30 days, I believe, from when you get the job to be sent back. So anyway, so I went to Tech 1. I did pretty good, like I said, with the diagnostics. And they pretty soon figured out, yeah, that I was good with the computer and diagnosing a lot of the issues. So I would help some of the other guys, figure out and read the computer and find out what it means. Now, there's a lot of smart people there. And like in every job, there's some people that could use a little help. So anyway, we all work together. I was one of those that needed a lot of help, but like I said, I was good in the computers. Hi. So, and like I mentioned here, right, you see every now and then there's just bikes going by. Again, people that are more, let's say, committed to a longer ride. But aside from that, you don't see a lot of people here. Pretty much secluded. It's a nice, beautiful walk. I love it. Uh, so I became that Tech 1. So as a Tech 1, again, I was working 5 in the morning to 1:30 p.m. Nobody else wanted the job. I took it. I liked it. It was hard at the beginning to be there at 5, but I liked the job very much. I liked what I was doing, working on the buses, doing diagnostics, figuring stuff out, especially a lot of those diagnostic issues, which are pretty tough. I'd like to help figure out. All right. I'd like to help figure out. Those are cool electric bikes, huh? But then I wouldn't be getting this exercise if I was riding an electric bike. Uh, so, yeah, but I like the schedule. Getting up early, being there, and getting out at 1:30 was amazing. At first, it was hard starting the job, being there at 5 a.m. But when you get out at 1:30, you're like, yeah, awesome. So uh, eventually, so I was there, I'd say like 2 years doing that job. Very good at it, trying to do my best always. Uh, and like with any job, right? It doesn't matter what job you have, you should always do your best. I should probably say here, I like to say this, it's not a brag, I hope nobody takes it as that, right? But when I started as a bus washer, I started in July. So every quarter they were, checking the buses for cleanliness. The supervisor would come and, right, he'd have a list of certain things he's looking for. So he'd run through, uh, I don't know, 3 or 4 buses per night randomly of everybody's buses, just to see, to make sure that we're doing a good job and we're not skipping anything. And in 3 months, they never found anything on any of my buses. I have a certificate for that. So whatever job you get, whether you're cleaning toilets or you're doing surgeries, do the best you can. Just always, do your best. So I like this shady part here. Very nice. Very cooling, relaxing. It's supposed to be 78 today. I mean, I'm sweating. I'm just walking, but I'm sweating, especially out in the sun. Uh, so anyway, so from that job, a body shop job opened up. So there's a body shop department, meaning, crash buses. Body shop also does broken windshields, anything that has to do with body work on the bus. Gets hit from the back, gets hit from the front, the driver hits something, uh, the mirror falls off. That's body work. A mirror not working, but the structure of the mirror is still there. That's not body work. That's a regular mechanic will fix. That's probably an electrical issue on the mirror. But when the mirror arm, falls off, we got to attach that back to the body of the bus. So that's body work. Roof leaks. A lot of things that could go wrong. Like I said, windows, all the windows. Now seats inside the bus are also body work. So if a seat cushion falls off, somebody breaks it, the seat back. A lot of things that could go wrong. The buses have straps on the inside so that you can hang on if you're standing. We body shop replaces those straps also. So there's a lot of things that the body shop replaces. That does, not just crash buses. But we do that, and some buses get crashed, smashed pretty good, so we have to take off the body panels and pull the frames, and it becomes a big work, Hi. It can be a lot of work, so. But I like doing that. I enjoy it very much. So that job opened up. Now that job is Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2:30. So a lot of pluses there. I wanted the weekends off. Since I became a mechanic about 3 years when I started, I'm sorry, a year after I started, I was a mechanic. For 3 years, I had Thursday, Friday off. Because this last year, I've had the weekends off. Last August, I went on vacation. When I came back, I started that job trial. So, sometime in August, I think it was the second week of August, I took that job trial. 2 weeks later, I signed it. Now I'm an official body shop employee. So, and again, I've learned a lot there doing body work. Learned welding, learned how to fix panels, learned how to pull frames, when they're bent, replace windshields on buses, and we have smaller fleets also. So we have cars like Dodge Challengers. Our road supervisors use those to respond, to certain incidences on buses and things like that. Uh, Also got to replace those windshields if they break. Body work on those cars, if they get into a fender bender or something, we got to take off the bumper, put a new one in, pull the frame if it's bent, all that good stuff. Uh, and I enjoy very much. Some buses came in brand new, so we took a bus and had to put all the privacy panels. There's panels behind the driver, so a passenger, let's say, make it more difficult for a passenger to attack a driver. So we had to build those out, from steel frames and cut them to size and drill holes and bolt these frames onto the bus and weld on them and put plexiglass and cut that. And all right, so I feel like I've been talking a lot, and this is only 3 miles. All right, so that is 3 miles there. My phone just informed me. Feel like I've been talking a lot. But what else am I going to do for this long walk, right? The phone says, GPS says the pace is 18 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm not walking too fast. Sometimes I can walk these at like 17 minutes and a half, but I really got to be pushing it. So again, I'm trying, the idea is to go for a walk leisurely. It is exercise, but I'm not trying to stress myself. It is actually a rest day for me. So I got into the body shop, and I love being at the body shop. Most important to me was having the weekends off. Uh, that's a whole nother issue. That's a church issue. Having Sundays off, I can go and meet with the saints at church and worship God, the creator of all this beautiful scenery here you see. So, and as I mentioned, this is just about 3 miles. Just past the 3 mile mark, there's a bunch of bikes coming this way. But I believe at 5 miles we'll be in Macedon. All right, we're back here. So I haven't heard my phone say 4 miles yet. So I'm guessing I'll hear it soon here. But we're getting to this area here. I hear a lot of birds. The trail behind me there. I'm trying to, sun is in my face. I have these glasses with, I can't think of it. They get dark on their own, so to protect me from the sun. So I'm trying not to squint, that sun's in my eyes, face, we do. Like, so trying to maintain it. Yeah, I'm sweating. Yeah, I don't think I've heard 4 miles, so maybe I was wrong, but we're here in Macedon. We're about to go through this little gate here. And here, I'll flip it around. So this is part of the trail. A sign there says share the road. There's some homes here uh, along this short path. And I say short because usually I've been through here.
Distance 4 miles. Duration 1 hour 14 minutes 5 seconds. Pace 17 minutes 47 seconds per mile.
So I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but I don't know if the microphone, I had a bug on me. The microphone picked that up, but I'm at 4 miles from where I started. And I think I said 17 minutes and 40 seconds per mile. So on the last mile, I was doing 18:45, something like that, 18:47. Now I did shaved a minute off my walk. And partly because I put the phone down and I was just walking. So again, I've done this before on bikes. I haven't done this walking like this. So, hi. Hi. I haven't done it just walking. So coming across here, a couple little homes here right on the water. Uh, so it's not 5 miles here. It's a little further up ahead where it's 5 miles. So that's where I'm headed now. We'll see how it gets. It's a nice day here. Hello. Hi. So just walking along. Again, it's good exercise. It's not nothing heavy. Again, this is my active rest day. So I have been actually exercising. A wooden piggy. I have been actually exercising. Uh, but today is more of a day to rest from my exercise. So I figured, well, let me walk. Again, depending on your level of fitness or how healthy you are, walking is walking. I would say I don't really consider it an exercise, but walking is good for your health. So that's why I'm out here walking. Uh, so this is part of the trail. Now in this section, cars do go through here because people live here. They have homes here. Some on the right here, right on the canal, and on the left, well, they're right across the street on the canal. Nice, quiet area here. Now we are getting to that road. I didn't look it up. I don't remember the name of the road. I think it's something Station Road. Maybe there'll be a sign when we get to the road. That road, I use that to go to Walmart when I want to go what I call through the country. I tell my wife, right, from where I live, I can head south on one of the main roads, hit another main road, and Walmart is on that main road about 12 minutes from our house. And it's also about 12 to 13 minutes if we go through the backside where you're not on the main. I guess there's a secondary road back there, uh, but then it's more country. And by country, I mean, there's less houses together, and uh, some areas have cows and sheep, and even donkeys and goats. So, we call that the country. So I usually go, or the times I've been through here has been on my bike. So usually run through this little section here pretty quick, but it takes a lot longer when you're just walking. speed limit, 5 miles per hour, no dust. Doesn't look super official, but understandable when you live over here. A dirt road brings a lot of dust. So my sneakers will get dusty, and my sweaty legs will catch a lot of that dust. Like I mentioned, a lot of nice homes here along the canal. Bottom side of the bridge. But like I said, I've been through here on a bicycle. And yeah, somewhere along this, I guess a little further is the 5 miles, 5 mile mark. It's been a while, maybe 2 years that I've done this. Well, I haven't ridden my bike in longer, so it's been longer than 2 years. But here's a little map. So we are here. We came from that direction, from the west, from Fairport. So distance to Niagara River. I don't know if they show it here. 96, Pittsford, Main Street. Okay, so going that way to Pittsford. 11.5, Fairport. That's where I came from. 4.6, Linden Road. We passed that. We're here. Next main one would be Canandaigua Road, 2 miles. Block 30, 3 miles. I've been way past that. I've been down to Newark. I don't know if I made it all the way to Route 88, but I have gone 20 miles starting from Fairport there. So from here to Fairport, 4.6. So starting at Fairport to here is about 4.6. And all the way down here would be 15.6. I've gone, 20 miles west past here, I'm guessing, in Newark. And then I turned back. I've done that before on my bike. So we'll continue until we hit 5 miles, like I said. And I think at 5 miles we'll turn around, and that'll be a 10-mile day. Like I said, I also want to see when or where I hit 10,000 steps, just to see how many miles. I'm sure I could probably Google that and it'll tell me, but I'll let the phone tell me. And when I started, I believe I was at 3,012 steps. I looked a while back, and I had like 8,900 steps. So I would have to get to 1312 for me to have walked 10,000 steps on this, not for the day, but on this trek here. I'm going to go ahead and stop it and check. All right, so I'm at 11,891 steps. I have to get to 13,012 steps to have done 10,000 steps on this hike, if you will, or on this walking journey. I don't know if I would call this a hike. I'm on a trail. This area of the trail is relatively flat. So, although it's a little rockier here now, I don't know if you can see that. But still, nice area. Have the canal path there on my left. Sorry, I'm on the canal path. On my right is the water of the Erie Canal. This is a nice wide section here. A little bench here. There's a bench here, and it says Macedon. It's 3 miles that way to the left. That's where we're headed. Fairport is 5 miles back that way. This is the canal. This is a wide section of the Erie Canal. All right, so I just hit 5 miles. That last mile there said it was 21 minutes and something seconds per mile. Obviously, I stopped over there by the sign. I stopped a little bit also while I was talking. So, turning around at 5 miles. Actually, I should look at how many steps I've done. All right, so I'm at 12,811 steps. I need to make it to 13,012 steps, I believe, because I started with 3,012 steps. So I'll get to 13,012 steps. That will mean that on this trail here, I've walked 10,000 steps, and so I will turn around then. So, all right, here we are. So, 13,455 steps. So, this whole morning, I had walked 3,012 steps by 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., I got on this trail and started walking. There's footage of that right on this video. And so I made it to 13,455. So technically a little over 10,000 steps on this trail. So now I will turn around. I didn't hit the 6 miles. I don't think I got even to 5.5. All right, well, I'm back here about a mile away from the bridge, from the Parker Street Bridge, which is where I started. Well, less than a mile, because it feels like 5 minutes ago it said I hit 9 miles. And we have some geese here. I think there was 2 of them over here earlier, and looks like they're still here, huh? Guess they didn't want to go nowhere. Been gone like 3 hours. They must like it here. And if you see, I was telling you on the other side over there, there's a trail. See how there's some people walking on the other side? There's a short trail there. Maybe one day I'll walk that trail. But still going here on this one. Still going.
Watch out for the what?
The geese. So back to civilization. It's a long walk. I'll tell you that much. To get to 10 miles. So that bridge ahead over there, that's not the one I'm talking about. It's a little further, but we're almost there. I'll keep going. I'll talk again when I get to the 10 miles and get to the end of the walk. All right, so I'm back in Fairport. Nice breeze. Fairport crews are still working there by the Fairport Electric building. I passed 10 miles over there, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. I am almost at the Parker Street Bridge. And yeah, I'll stop the GPS when I get to the bridge where I turned it on. But that's 10 miles.
Attention, low battery.
Oh, that's funny. The GPS just says it's low battery. All right, might have to stop it here. Oh, that's the Parker Street Bridge. This is where I started. I stopped at, I believe it's like 10.6 miles. These steps right here lead you right up to the Parker Street Bridge. This is also a one-way bridge, so there's a light, or not a one-way, a two-way, but one-lane bridge. That's the view from up here. That's the direction I came from. Okay, so that was 10.6 miles. Um, I'll put the see if I can put the image there in the video, or I'll just put the stats in, whatever I can do. Uh, but obviously, I want to share the image of the GPS. But I did the walk. It was a lot, I don't think I need to walk that much for exercise. That was more of a let me let me overdo it, right? I'm used to overdoing it, to be honest, right? Uh, like I mentioned before, this journey here, trying to work out, I used to, I guess I was younger, I was a lot healthier, or whatever you want to call it. My metabolism was faster because I never gained so much weight like I did when I started this year. But I was always more active. I guess I walked a lot, right? Moved around a lot, did some sports, was never really a gym person, but in my life, I signed up to like 3 or 4 gyms, and I would go for a month, maybe 3 months at the most, and then stop going. This last time here before this, well, 2 times before this, we signed up when we got here. We signed up for Planet Fitness. They had one of those, sign up for $1, $10 a month. Uh, and not only that, I ended up doing the $20 a month. I think it was because they had the massage, hydro massage chair, whatever it is. I was like, oh, every time I work out, I'm gonna do this. Never went. I mean, I think we had that thing for like 9 months before I canceled it. Never. So I gave them 90 $90 for my wife. I guess 180 for me. I gave them, and I didn't even use the gym. Um, but then after that, my wife signed up eventually for some gym around here that had some cardio classes, which was more like like high intensity training. They you pay a little more. They give you like the wristband to check your heart, monitor your heart, and all that. It's like a boot camp type of exercise, like a 45 minutes, 1 hour class, but you're really pushing it. And they give you like a diet, to follow and all that kind of stuff, which she was doing, and it worked a little. Uh, but then it was like a 30-day trial. You pay this much, but then you can add that towards the next class. And then anyway, when it ended, it was like $500 for the year or whatever. We were used to paying, what is it, $30 for like Gold's Gym, or you know $10 for Planet Fitness, right? $20 at the most. Uh, so I was like, well, you really want to do that? And there was some instructors there she didn't like that were kind of giving her a lot. There was some instructors that I guess would push them and do the exercises with them, or were motivating, and then she had some instructors who would just kind of say what to do, and weren't even watching, like they were on their phone. Like it seemed like she's like, all right, well, I don't want to be a part of that. So we talked about it. We were looking at other gyms, and we decided the YMCA around here in Monroe County, where we live, upstate New York, or Western New York is what this is called. This is not upstate New York. Uh, the YMCA has, pool. Um, they have classes, and that's part of your monthly payment. So I can't think right off the top of my head. I think we were doing like close to $80, I think it was, for both of us. So that's like $40 a head, right, per month. And so it seemed like more, but again, they had pool, they had basketball courts, which I like basketball. They got like a walking track inside, a lot of equipment, weights. The classes are included. They got coffee machines there, so free coffee. They got, rooms you can go in there and sit on your laptop. They have what do you call that? Air hockey. Uh, what else? They got a couple of things there that you can do. Especially my wife likes to do those exercise classes, and she found some good ones like the boot camp ones. And she's there for 45 minutes, and it's high intensity training, so it's exercise after exercise, very short rest in between. She likes that; gives her a good workout. Um, so anyway, we have that gym. I don't like too much the hours. I believe they close at 9 p.m. and they open at 5, I want to say. I don't think it's 6. I think it's 5. Now I work at 6 in the morning, so I leave my house like at 5:20. So I won't have time to go to the gym there and then, get a workout before I go to work. And then after work, I work till 2:30. I like to, when possible, I do up to 3 hours overtime a day so I can get out like at 5:30. So, right, let's say I come home and eat something, and then I gotta let my food digest a little before I can go hit the gym. So by the time, let's say by 6:30, I go there. So I do have time. I could do it at that time, but also I get up, like I said early, at 4. So I want to be in bed by like 9 o'clock. Ideally, is where I want to be. I end up going to sleep like at 10 anyway. But uh, when I'm really tired, I end up crashing like at 8 to try to get uh, 8 hours. If I sleep at 8 and wake up at 4. I don't think I have to walk 10 miles again like that just to know that I can do it, or, I mean, but it is good exercise. Uh, Walking is good in the sense that it's exercise, but it's not exercise, right? I would consider running, jogging, biking, right? What you call hiking when you got a lot of hills and stuff. Yes, that's more exercise. This walking is essential to get you from here to there, right? We have to walk. You have to walk to your car to get to hop in your car to get to work, or if work is not too far, you can walk to work. Uh, Walking is essential, right? We need to move, we need to walk. So walk shouldn't be considered an exercise, but we take walking sometimes so much for granted that we don't even do that, you know. So that is considered an exercise when you don't do no walking throughout your day, that you have to take time out to walk so that you can move your body, so that your body can work the way it should. You need movement in your body so that it can work the way it should. You need good food to fuel your body, to feed your body, to sustain your body, to nourish your body. Um, and part of that also is mental. So you need good walking relieves stress. I did a lot of thinking while I was out there walking. Nice and quiet, walking out there. It's to you with your thoughts. Um, as I was walking, I did a recorded sideways the video. I'll post it up there. I was meditating on Psalm 1, and it was great as I was walking. I was also meditating on 2,000 years ago how it was the main mode of transportation. You just walked everywhere. So anyway, just things to think about, things to talk. Uh, just talking here. Uh, yeah, walking is good. Walking is good for your health, so I recommend it. Maybe you don't have to go ahead and walk 10 miles in one shot, but every now and then, right? You have a Saturday, you got a day off. Why not take a couple hours and go for a nice long walk? Get your body moving, for a long walk. So I hope you find some good information here in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to continue watching my journey here. Um, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. May God bless you and praise the Lord.